Awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody's doing well today on this beautiful Tuesday. As always, let's turn off all distractions, grab pen and paper, let's take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. And as always, I want to make sure that we start our day off by taking massive action. The action stands for accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome, centering yourself, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, trust in your education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition. Imagine your trade successfully materializing, obeying the trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear, and never looking back or stopping once the trade has commenced. All right. So let's get to it, good people. We had some news come out last night that we will take a look at. And we'll go through and take a look at some of the setups that we talked about this weekend. Um, yeah, and then we will talk about at the end of the session, we'll talk about um something exciting that we got set up for you guys for this week. All right, so if everybody can hear me okay, drop me one in the chat and we will get this thing rocking. Beautiful. See the ones coming in, appreciate it. And let's do it. Over to trading economics. Boom. So, um, how we got this going here? So, there we go. Okay. Yesterday, Australian dollar. The Reserve Bank of Australia kept its cash rate unchanged at 4.35% during its May meeting. As widely expected, the central bank maintained borrowing costs for the fourth time since its last raise its rates November 2023, acknowledging that returning inflation to target is unlikely to be smooth. Right? I'm talking about um, soft landings and all of those things, not likely to be smooth. While cost pressures continue to ease, its pace of moderation was slower than expected due to persistent services inflation. Moreover, there are uncertainties over the lags in the effect of the monetary policy and how firm pricing decisions and wages will respond, or how firms' pricing decisions and wages will respond to slower growth. The board added they needed to be sure that prices were moving toward a 2 to 3% range, staying vigilant to upside risks. And again, noting that it did not rule out anything in or out, it did not rule anything in or out as it will rely on data, right? So everything is on the table for them. They're going to watch the data to make the decision, all right? The RBA will closely monitor global economy trends in domestic demand and the outlook for inflation and labor market. All right. So they held firm and they stayed on the line, right? Data dependent, didn't give much in one direction or the other. But they did flag some concerns. All right. So that's what happened with the Aussie last night. We'll take a look at those Aussie pairs and see how they responded. Um, Eurozone retail sales rise most in 18 months. Jumped 0.8% from the previous month, rebounding from an upwardly revised 0.3% decline from the previous month and ahead of market expectations of 0.6. It was the sharpest increase in retail activity since September 2022, pointing to some strength from the European consumer and aligning with other economic data released that reflects some traction in the bloc's economy. All right. So Benny's been talking about the euro and how he didn't see things slowing down as others have expected, right? And retail sales is one of those numbers that shows things aren't slowing down as expected. All right. So we'll keep an eye on the euro. German exports rose more than estimated. And then we had Germany factory orders continue to shrink. All right. So we got some back and forth in the data out of the UK and out of the Eurozone. So we'll continue to watch those and see how things transpire. Okay. Over to the calendar. So today, or this week anyway, is we got some action spread out throughout. So we got the factory orders here. That's the rate decision last night. Had a bunch of central bank speakers speak yesterday. Didn't get a chance to take a look at those. I have to get an update on those, and then some PMI data out of some of the smaller countries in the Eurozone. Yeah, yesterday. Um, so going into Wednesday, so not a ton today, right? You got IVPMI for the Canadian dollar at 10 o'clock. Um, Not a ton of red folders. You had your foreign currency reserves for the Swissy, right? Increased um, from the previous month, right? So they're holding more foreign currency reserves, which could lead to, right, a cheaper Swissy, right? To tomorrow, we have more members speaking, crude oil inventories, and then BOJ summary of opinions. This is basically like their projections for inflation and economic growth. All right. So we'll see what that has to say. Might give us some indication on the BOJ. Then Thursday, we got rate statement for coming out of the UK for the Bank of England, right? So that'll be a big day for us. And we got unemployment claims for the dollar. And then bond auction for the dollar, GDP for the pound on Friday, employment change, unemployment rate for the Canadian dollar, and then more members speaking and U of M inflation expectations. So some things spread throughout the week, not as volatile as last week, but let's continue to watch and see how things go. On some of the geopolitical stuff, you have in Israel, their ceasefire talks have stalled. Israel turned down the ask of Hamas for the ceasefire to be permanent. They turned down that request. There were some other things within that agreement or those ceasefire talks that were also turned down regarding hostages and things of that nature. So that has stalled. So we'll see what happens going forward when it comes to the market and how the market responds to that as things could start to pick up depending on how Israel chooses to move forward. All right. So that could add some volatility as we move through this week and into next. All right. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Oh man, doing pretty good.
Awesome. Awesome. Anything stand out for you from a fundamental perspective or anything top of mind?
No, you covered it all. I mean, the rate statements are important this week. So we had Australia that you covered overnight, and then which we put some notes in the community regarding that, and then just later on this week with the Bank of England. So that's more so just looking for the forward guidance from each of the central banks as they start to report out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
Appreciate you dropping those notes in the chat. I mean, in the community for us as well. Um, Gave us some good insight. So, team, any questions from you guys from a fundamental perspective? No? All right. Cool deal. So, let's hop over to the charts. Um, the dollar. the dollar, the dollar, the dollar. We come back to the daily time frame, right? This is one of the smaller waves coming off the low, right? And on that smaller wave, we're looking at this retracement last week, right? A nice deep retracement came into the 618 retracement zone. We had that previous daily resistance. We weren't able to close below that on the daily time frame. And now we're pressing back to the upside. So we'll continue to monitor to see where the dollar goes, but we got a deep retracement. We're pressing back to the upside. So we could be preparing for a bullish move on the dollar. We come down to the 4, you see the fibs coming off the high, and you see that reversal there. So we'll track this and see if we're able to take out the A on the 4, right? And flip this fib back over and have it running back to the upside. Okay. But we're getting some dollar strength now. Coming out for the weekend, right? So we're making our way back to the upside now on the DXY, right? So what that means is those dollar pairs or dollar crosses, they're running to the upside. Okay, so that is the DXY. Over to the dollar yen. That's where we are. That's the daily time frame. There's the 80-20. We had to push down, and now we're turning over and pressing back to the upside. So we'll track this to see how much traction the dollar gets. Okay, coming down to the 4. Similar scenario, right? We got an 80-20 scenario here, but we know how things can go sometimes with the yen, right? Especially when they still haven't changed anything, right? They didn't intervene over the weekend. Not a ton of news coming out of Japan over the weekend. So we'll watch and see how this week goes and see if the yen is able to gain a little more traction over the counter currencies. So we'll watch the dollar and see where it goes as well. All right. So that's on the 4. There's the 80-20 on the daily and the 4-hour, tracking this pullback. And we'll see if it's a full turnover or just a retracement for a high price to get back short. Okay. So that's the dollar yen. Any questions here?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Cool deal. Over to the Aussie yen. Benny broke this one down for us. Daily time frame, we had that fresh AB boundary. We hit that D extension, pushed down, and we pulled back. And so we're looking at on the 4-hour and on the 1-hour, I believe, right? 618 retracement here, right? And we see price gave us a nice reversal. We had the long impulsive move there on the intervention, but we came back to that level and then we turned over and we're making our way back to the upside. So we'll continue to track this. If we're able to break back above 102.847, right, that'll give us that sustained move to the upside for the Australian dollar yen. All right. Coming down to the 1, I believe we had similar scenario. Yeah, so here we got a 50% retracement on that wick down, and then we got the reversal, right? So been spot on there on that reversal. Beautiful move off the low. Now let's continue to track it and see how far to the upside we get the push, right? Questions on the Aussie yen?
No, sir. They're all in a similar position.
They are. They are. All those yens made those reversals like that. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go. It'll be interesting to see where they go. No questions there. Aussie CAD. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Aussie CAD. Press to the highs, right? 96.42. Weren't able to close above. Now we're pulling back. Let's see if we come back and retest this 89,950, 89,953 and see what happens, right? Does price hold there and give us another push to the upside to make it to the matching D extension at 91,092? All right, we've got a 50% retracement here. So that's our matching D extension. So let's watch this and see if past resistance becomes future support. Got a nice bullish break, and now we're pulling back. All right. Coming down to the 4, fresh AB boundary, right? 786. Nope. Just missed that 76. So a 618 retracement, matching the extension there. Boom. Now we got a fresh AB boundary and we're retracing, right? So maybe that level holds for us and we get shallow retracement here and a push into the zone like that. Okay, so we'll watch this and see how the Aussie and the Canadian dollar respond as we move through the week. Now, if geopolitical tensions pick up, right, we'll look at the Canadian dollar as we could see some impacts on oil as well. All right, here on the one, right, we already got to that 236 retracement level and trying to turn over. So this could also, if we get a push to the upside, this could also push into that 118, 127 zone. On the 1 hour as well, similar to the 4, right? Just shy of that D extension there on the 1. So let's see if we get another push to the upside here, right? And push into the 118, 127 zone on the 4 hour and the 1 hour and see if we get an opportunity to then potentially get short on the Aussie CAD. All right. So tons will have to happen for that, right? We'll need some sort of strength coming out of Canada or oil. So we'll have to watch that to see if we get that opportunity, right? But that push to the upside into that 118, 127 zone gets us to that D extension on the daily time frame. So we got a lot of confluence in that area. So we'll watch that to see if we get that type of price action. Okay. Questions on the Aussie CAD? Nope, none. All right. Cool. Aussie dollar. So we press back into that 618 retracement level, right? And these are the sub fibs coming off the C. That's a larger AB boundary, right? We're looking at the smaller wave here, push back to that 66,452 level. We weren't able to close above. A bit range bound here, right? Between 66,452 and 65,860. Okay. We come down to the 4. And here we are, the deep retracement, right? We talked about this one. Seeing if we stay inside that AB boundary. Got a strong push to the upside, and now we came back down. So we'll have to break below the 65,860, which is previous resistance, right? We need a strong break below and a retest to give us some confirmation of a continuation to the downside, right? But deep in the zone here, so we got some potential if we're able to stay inside that AB boundary for that reversal, right? We've been talking about looking to see if we're able to get some dollar strength. So if we do, we'll see this turnover continue to push. All right. So that's the move there on the Aussie dollar, looking to see if we get some follow through there. Okay. On the one that's already turned over, making its way to the downside there. Okay. So we're tracking this one off of the 4 hour. Questions on the Aussie dollar? Nope. 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 All right. Cool deal. CAD Swiss. So this one, overall long term, we've been looking for a move to the upside to continue after pullbacks, right? So we got the pullback here, and you see prices starting to turn over and press to the upside. Down on the 4, we didn't quite get back to the 65,988 level, right? But we saw a reversal and price start to push back long. So down on the 1, right, where we're tracking this, we had an 80-20 that pushed us to a deep retracement, right? 618 level, right? And you see prices turned over. Now we're looking to make our way back to the upside. Okay, so we'll see if we can get a full turnover here and continuation on this to the matching D extension on the 1 hours here, 67,067, right? But over the longer term, there's that move there, right? And that's the capital fib opportunity that we had, 618 retracement, looking for price ultimately to get to 67,986. All right, so that was a sub fib opportunity, looking for an entry point to get back long to get to that 67 level. Okay, so that's where we are. It's already turned over, starting to make its way to the upside. We'll continue to monitor it as it makes its way. Okay, so that's the CAD Swiss, another one spot on there. Any questions? No.
No, sir.
All right, cool deal. AJ, good morning. Good to see you. Let's see. Euro Swissy. We had a couple scenarios here, right? Uh, Long term, we've been watching this move. We had that deep retracement 8-6 level, turning over, pressing long. Okay. Pressing along there, looking for a matching the extension hit of 98,990. On the 4, right? Here was a secondary opportunity, 618 retracement. Price was turned over, right? Looked at this one on Saturday. Price was turned over, pressing to the upside. So we're moving long now, right? We're moving long. We saw that Euro data come in above expectation, which is giving us the fundamental catalyst for this move. When we come down to the 1, where you see we took out the A boundary, right? And here we have that 80-20 scenario. And we're turning over beautifully. All right, so we're headed to that 382 level. Okay, so this was a beautiful 80-20 scenario here, if that's what you're looking to play, right? 47 pips is a TP. We're already up 37 of those. Okay, so moving in a beautiful way. Okay, moving in a beautiful way. So we'll see. We'll look for that to continue, especially if we continue to get Euro data that is above expectation, right? And the geopolitical risks kind of hold off, right? Because that could be something that could benefit the Swissy if anything does pop off. All right, so we'll watch that and see. But pressing to the upside right now, looking for that to continue over the long term, especially the C to D move on the 4, making our way to the matching D extension. Okay. Questions on the Euro Swiss? Anybody ever take advantage of any of these moves out of the weekend? Joy, yes, beautiful, great work, great work. Jeremy, yes, awesome. JC, no, that's all right. That's all right. I missed a few of them too. We'll drop some sevens for those that were able to. Awesome. All right, we'll continue to monitor those as they move. All right. Let's take a look at this Euro Aussie. See what is happening here. So daily time frame. This one is interesting, right? Because it's been continuing this slide to the downside, but we have the 618 retracement here, right? We haven't taken out the A on the daily time frame. So do we still at some point get price to turn over and move long? Right? We've been tracking this off multiple time frames, looking to see the reversal. We thought it would have happened sooner, but we're getting some stronger Aussie data, right? So we're looking to see now, do we get an opportunity to turn over, or do we continue to press down back to that support level at 161,337, right? It could give us a double bottom scenario there. And if that support holds, then we bounce. Okay. Coming down to the 4. Excuse me. Similar scenario, right? 618 retracement, looking for that potential double bottom if we get it. But right, we got some strong bullish action here. Right, we got it here as well. So we'll watch to see what transpires and how, and if we get any follow through on this. Right. So this one is a little bit tricky, but it hasn't taken out the A on the 4, and it hasn't taken out the A on the daily, right? So this is a longer term swing opportunity. Again, that data starting to kind of fall in line with some euro strength. And we'll see what happens with the Aussie, but we could see this start to turn at some point and really start to make its move to the upside. So this is one that takes a lot of patience on, but just allowing it to swing, allowing it to bounce back and forth and do its thing as it makes its way to the D extension. Okay. Excuse me. Then on the 1, you just had your fresh AB boundary, and then there's your turnover there, right? So that was your trend line break on the 1 hour on that reversal. All right. Boom. There's your trend line break, right? So let's see, see if we get a pull back into the zone here, right? Maybe retest the trend line and then see if we get an opportunity to get back long there, right? On that longer term swing, if you're not in this already, right? That could be an entry opportunity for that move to the upside. Okay. Questions on the Euro Aussie? Oh, oh, all right. All right, cool deal. Um, what else we got here? Oh, look at this pound CAD. Look at the pound Aussie too, but this pound CAD is interesting, right? Because we'll see what happens on Thursday, right? With that rate decision out of the UK. We got this crown pattern that hasn't completely failed yet. It's been in consolidation for quite some time. We came back to the top of the range and we started making our way down. So this one is going to be interesting to see if obviously if they're hawkish out of the UK, right? Even if they hold but have a hawkish tone, we could see this go ahead and take off to the upside, right? But if there's more of a dovish tone or a data dependent tone, um, then then we could see a flip and a turnover there, right? Also, the geopolitical conversation as well. Joy still short, wanted to hit double bottom. Okay. Okay. I see that. I see that. Yeah, great work on that. Just continue to monitor that trade, right? And once and you got your stops in and everything. So just continue to monitor that as it moves in either direction. That was Joy on the Euro Aussie. This pound cat on the 4, right? We're sitting high in the zone, right? So I'm watching this one to see where price moves from here. Okay. Um, we initially got a nice move down and then we pulled back. So I'm looking to see if we're able to get some follow through and a move to the downside, right? Um, or if we break out to the upside, take out the A, right? So as of right now, this daily level 172,217 has held. Um, so monitoring this one closely as we're sitting in this consolidation right now. And we'll see if we get a breakout in one direction or the other later on this week. Okay. Right. So we need a breakout. We need a breakout. So that's what I'm watching there on the 4th. Um, And then we have the opposite opportunity here on the 1 hour where you got a 618 retracement and price is trying to turn over. So again, if we get that breakout to the upside, that plays to the 1 hour. But right, if it's more dovish, right, we could see that collapse. So that's what I'm watching there on the pound CAD. We'll see which direction we get on it. Okay. Questions? I'm sorry, pound CAD. Questions here. Nope, nope, nope. All right. Cool deal. Um, Pound Aussie. So this one different than the Euro Aussie, but we got a couple different scenarios here. In the consolidation here, we got a potential inverted crown pattern if we get a swing low to form and prices start making its way to the upside. Okay. That's there in this consolidation. So we'll watch this to see if we get that turnover and break back above 193.05. Okay. The other view on this is this 80-20 scenario, right? Price has already been breaking down. We got lower highs, don't have necessarily lower lows anymore, right? So if we stay below this 193.05, we could head lower, right? And head to that 382 at 183.412. But in the UK, they've been going back and forth, right? They're torn on when they should cut rates, right? So you gotta split out of the BOE right now, and Governor Bailey's trying to figure out when that decision should come. So that's going to be a lot of the conversation leading up to that meeting on Thursday. Is what happens, right? What side of that do they fall on? So in that press conference, we'll listen for any cues on forward guidance, right? What does that look like as they move forward into June, July? Um, if rate cuts could be expected then, right? If that's the tone of the conversation, right, we see this continue moving to the downside. Okay, so we'll watch and see how this goes, but that's the 80-20 opportunity on the daily time frame there. On the 4, right, we're pressing down. We got a 50% retracement. You see price breaking down. We broke below that level, came back and retested, and we're trying to turn back over. We'll see if we get to the matching extension here at 188.321. Right, so that's on the 4. This didn't get up into our sweet spot zone for the short, right? It just turned over and continued moving down. So we'll watch and see if we get here, and then maybe we get a reset, right? Come Thursday. Maybe we get a reset come Thursday and press back to the upside. Okay. So something for us to watch there as price continues to move. Okay. And nothing doing on the ones. Any questions on this Euro Aussie? No. You did get a 618 retracement here on the 1, in line with that daily level. Nope, no questions. Okay. So this is the 1 hour. You did get a just shy of a 618 retracement here, coming back and retesting that daily level, and that's the push down. So this will be interesting to see as well. Do get that follow through, but that matching extension on the 1 is in line with that extension on the 4, right? So that would make sense if we get that continuation to the downside to get to that 4-hour D extension. And then we'll look for a reset. So we'll watch that and see how things move there. Okay. No questions on the pound Aussie. Nope. All right. Um. Take a look at this pound yen. Right. We talk about all those yens being in getting that same price action. Right. So here we are on the 4. There's that reversal. We're pulling back now. So we're watching to see, right? And this could also lead into Thursday as well, right? If we get a dovish BOE, right, you could see this collapse, right? In that yen gaining some strength through by default. I'll say that. But here on the 1, you got that 8-6 retracement, right? So if we do get some bullish action, you've already got price start to turn over here, trying to break the cloud. Already got a trend line break. So, right, if we got a bullish cloud ahead, we get a nice bullish push out of here, right? We're already trying to break above the cloud there. We could see this continue to move a bit higher, right? At least in the short term, leading into Thursday, and then we'll see what happens. But this was a beautiful turnover here. You got your TK crossover, boom. So that one's headed to the upside. So we'll track this one as well and see how long this goes, right? If we get up into this 202 434 area or not. All right. That'll be That'll be a deep move, right? And then we'll be back to having conversations about the Bank of Japan and what they choose to do. All right. So that's the pound yen. Not a ton doing there just yet. Any questions? No, 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 no. Okay. All right. Um, that pound Swiss, we were looking to see if we got price to push down into that 118, 127 zone on this 30 minute, and we didn't. We just got to turn over and push to the upside, right? So that one didn't fit into our sweet spot zone, and we just got the reversal there. Okay. As we walk things back here, right? We just got to that 382 level. Okay. Beautiful 80-20 down, right? Just got to that 382. So maybe there's another push to the downside in store. We'll wait and see. But so we're just sitting in between right now on this pound Swissy. So nothing doing. We'll see if we're able at some point to make our way down to this 112, 969 level to give us an opportunity, but we may not, right? We're against the Swissy, so this one could just continue to trickle to the upside, even through Thursday. So we'll watch and see that one there, from that perspective. So just an update on that one. Any questions on the pound Swiss? Okay. This NZD Swissy, where we had to set up on the 1 hour here. Initially, we got a nice move, right? Out of the 80-20 zone down to that 236, but we got a double bottom, triple bottom scenario here. Boom. And we got price to push to the upside. So this one could continue to press long, right? We could get to that D extension here before we get a full reversal. All right. So we'll watch. We'll watch and see, on this to see if we get price to come back down. But right now, right, it's still pressing to the upside. So if you're not in this, continue to be patient, right, and see what happens once we get to that 54,712 level. Um, yeah, so we'll watch this one closer to see if we get some confirmation of a reversal. Okay, so that's the NZD Swiss on the one. Questions or thoughts on this one? No?
I was still holding this long. It didn't it
Oh,
didn't hit TP yet. And I
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
very,
yeah,
very,
yeah.
very confused if I should still hold it because it looked like it has so much potential.
I don't blame you for staying in that long, right? I don't blame you for staying in that long, right? Because that's your 80-20 scenario right here. We didn't get to that 382,
Nope.
right? And remember, right? The bias is still short Swissy, right? This was just looking for a pullback to get a low price for another entry on it, right?
I got you.
But overall, still long on this one. So I don't blame you at all for just sitting in that position, allowing it to run. Right, great patience on that. Great patience. This was just a shorter term opportunity potentially on a low price to get back in this one, to head to that TP one. All right, but overall, that's still my view over the long term. Is that
Because it
at
looked
least
like
that 380?
once they get back in that area, it's gonna consolidate a little bit, like how the previous consolidation zones had hit above and
Mm-hmm.
after.
It definitely could. It definitely could. Yeah, yeah. So no, that's great work on that, man.
Yep,
That's great
yep,
work. Yeah, yeah. Continue holding that thing, allow it to do its thing, right? And if you get a low price, you have an opportunity to add to it if your trade plan calls for it. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. No other thoughts here? Okay, cool deal, cool deal. Benny, you got any pairs you got your eyes on, bro?
No, man, mainly just looking at those yen crosses, right? So if you look at a lot of them, like I'm watching them from the 1 hour, and putting the cloud on them, put my put my moving average on them. And they look like they're reversing pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, and then just continuing to watch that DXY to watch that dollar find a support in that zone that we marked out.
Yes.
Right. So you
But
can
once
see,
that daily candle closes, we'll have that support, right?
right. And so um you can see how these are holding up and
Yeah.
starting to reverse breaking above cloud. So now I've got a 200 simple running, just tracking and see how it's trending,
Okay.
longer term. And they're looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, they are. It's definitely been a good move out of that zone. Um, just from Sunday to today, right? That's a nice move, right? That's
So
200.
if you run your fib off that long wick,
Ooh,
you see they're
I
all
dig it.
setting up the same.
I dig it. So we got a 786 retracement there, heading back to that level. Yep. 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 That makes sense. And this is the zone that I've had my eyes on too for that retracement anyway. So coming back and retesting that consolidation. So that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm
Like
just
it.
using a 200 simple just to track if it gets above that 200 and closes on these pairs, and it's probably going to continue to run.
Mm, okay. All right. I like it, bro. Great work, man. Great work.
Appreciate it.
All right. So all these ends are setting up the exact same way. Yeah, I'll go back and take a look at it again, John. All right. All I'm getting that break of the cloud, break, retest, bullish ahead, and you see him pushing. Beautiful. That one got taken out. Headed long. I love it. I love it. Let's pop back to the UJ. Same position, right? That retracement happening here. That's on the 4, right? You got your 80-20 on the daily and on the 4 hour. Okay. But sub fib moves are happening here.
Yeah,
Right. You
if
get these
definitely on that
reversals.
from that daily time frame, you can see how, like you said, they're forming those swing lows on the
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I'm like, this look like it's about to go chase the D extension.
We'll see for sure. We'll, it's definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. All right. So we'll continue to monitor those. Okay. Team, you guys got any pairs you got your eyes on? That's what I'm gonna take a look at. We got about 15 minutes or 10 minutes. So I want to chat about something we got
Can
for you guys at the end as well.
can you check out the indices for me? S&P.
Back long. Back long. Let's clean this up a little bit. Boom. So daily time frame, right? We're pushing back into that 118, 127 zone, right? Came into that was support here, bounce off. right? So pushing back to that 118, 127 zone. That's 100 gold. Gotcha. So we'll see what happens as we approach this next daily resistance level here. Right? Could be a little bit range bound, maybe give us a double top, right? But we'll see if that 52.86 level holds. But still in that 80-20 zone on the daily time frame. To the 4. Let's see what we got. Oh, that took out the A. Okay. That also took out the A. That also took out the A. Boom. The extension there on a sub fib. Is that how you got your fibs on the 4, Benny? Is that right? That looks accurate. Yep. I think that's accurate. So there we are. We just hit a D extension
Yep.
on the 4. All right. Zoom that in. So now this could be potentially, at least in the short term, pull back and maybe a continuation to the high. We'll see. We'll see what happens there as we wait for a swing high to form. So depending on where that forms, right, could give us some indication there, right? But that's what we got on the 4, then down to the 1, fresh AB boundary. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting here. I'm gonna watch this close, right? Because even if we get that retracement, could be a shallow retracement on the 1, and then if we stay below that 52.86, it could still give us an 80-20 scenario for that action. So I'm gonna watch that and see if we get that. But that's where we are on the S&P 500. Questions on this one?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Cool deal. Oops. NASDAQ. Oh. Clean this up. Let's see. Let's see. I think that is the right fib here on the daily. Yep. All right. So daily, this is where we are here. Also, still didn't get to that 382. Right. Pushed into the zone. Nice move. Still didn't get to the 382 though. Right. So now we're pushing back into that 118 and 127 zone. So very similar to that S&P 500. Right. Pushing back into that 118 and 127 zone. So maybe we also get opportunity here to get short as well. See if we get another higher push there. Coming down to the 4. That A got taken out there. Run that to the downside. Boom. Similar story, right? Similar story. B boundary, 118, 127 zone. We'll see around 18,488. See what happens. On the 1, you got an 80-20 already.
Right, on the daily, when you had that, it was like a really good break and retest. So I don't know.
Right here. Is that what you're talking about?
No, the actual one, like if you look left, yeah.
Here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Past resistance becoming future support. Interesting. So let's see what happens, right? See if price is able to hold there. If it doesn't, then we're headed to that D extension. It is, right? We got the break here. Came back, retested that level beautifully. Turn over. Now we're pressing back long. So let's watch this, right? 1 hour, you got an 80-20, so maybe get a pullback early, right? And then, all right, there's your 80-20 on the 1. Okay, so maybe get a pullback, then a continuation long. Watch that one there. Reese got it on the 30 as well. Boom. S&P got an 80-20 on the 30-minute also. Okay. I'll pop back to that one. But there you go there on NASDAQ. Appreciate that, bro. Okay. So shorter term opportunities here. So maybe we get that retracement coming sooner rather than later, at least at 382. And then we'll look for a push back to the highs and then see if we see what action we get from there. Okay. So there's a trade setup right there. It's the same on the 1 also. Boom. Okay. That's the TP1. Back to SPX. Yeah, there's your 80-20 there on the 30. Let's see. Let's watch and see what happens there. All right. If you trade the S&P 500 and you get the confirmation, right, based on your rules, pull the trigger. Okay. Appreciate that call out, Reese. DJI. Nope. Is that it? I actually think that's it. All right. Let's see. See, I haven't marked this one up in quite some time, but look at that. This was my previous markup. And you see what I was looking for, right? Price to push into this zone and what it do. Shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone, didn't get to the D extension, turned over. Now we're pushing back to, this was a previous resistance level. All right, was resistance here. We broke back below it, coming back to it. So we'll watch and see what happens. Yep, exactly. Exactly, Joy. Forgotten charts that hit. Because I don't trade the Dow. But I was marking up all the indices and just going through, just looking at some of the correlations and how they look very similar. But yeah, right. Boom. Beautiful scenario. Beautiful scenario. So
Got a
down
crown
to
there too.
yeah. Yeah. If we get price to turn over here, it'd be a deep crown pattern. Maybe head and shoulders. Let's see. Deep crown pattern. Yep. Good call, done that. Good call. See if we're able to hold at that 2260. We'll see what happens there. All right. But makes sense, right? The 80-20 to fully play out. Boom. Move down. So we'll watch that too. We'll watch that too. Coming down to the 4. Let's see. Boom. 80-20 scenario. Beautiful ABCD wave sequence. And now we're here. So let's see. All right, we'll see if we hold below that 2260. Okay. Coming down to the 1. Fresh AB boundary. Right. So this one would track off the 4-hour and off the daily on those 80-20 scenarios. Yep. So if we're able to stay below, then we can get some action back down to the downside. So we'll watch that closely there. Questions on the Dow.
Is that your US 30, right?
Dow Jones, yep.
Don't because I think they
Yeah,
have one. They
you can
have
track
one
it as
that
US
says
30 now.
US 30.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's go back and see. My bad. All right. I had this one on there too. Let's see. Let's see. I don't mess with these a ton. Let's see. So here, some subtle differences, but off the daily, that's where we are. 80-20 scenario, right? Same action. Same action, right? Coming down to the 4. Coming down to the 4. Let me zoom this back out for a second and see. That got taken out as well. Okay, so we'll run this off the high. This one might also get taken out. Boom. Okay. So that's where we are on the 4. Deep retracement zone, headed north. So we might take out the A. All right, we'll see if price settles in there. But let's see. Let's see what happens here. We're able to stay inside that A boundary, could see price turnover sooner rather than later. Okay. Coming down to the 1. Similar story. 8-6
Like,
level.
the flip to the upside though, it's a 80-20. So
Some confirmation, some confluence there. All right, beautiful. All right, so deep retracement off the capital fib to the downside, sub fib 80-20. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So let's see if we can get these to turn over. Start pushing back down to the downside. I like the thoughts. I like the thoughts. So down on the 30, you just got a fresh AB boundary. Put your deep retracement there. All right. Beautiful. So sitting in similar positions on all of them, right? So look for some retracements coming out of your indices. And we'll see how deep those go, right? Could just pull back and retest the previous resistance levels and push higher. But we'll watch them and see. Okay. Again, if they meet your trading rules, go ahead and pull the trigger. Right? Questions on any of those? You said. And we'll wrap things up with gold. All right, yeah. So retracement zone, up, retracement zone, pulling back. Didn't get to that 382 yet. We got trend lines running to the upside. See if we respect those and continue to bounce higher, right? But kind of consolidating a bit there. Coming down to the 4. Coming down to the 4. It's not going to be it. Yep. We will come here. 50% retracement there. And that's where we're stuck in the consolidation on the 4, coming down to the 1. probably run these to the downside. Let's see. Yep. Boom. That's where we are on the 1. Excuse me. Just range bound there. Okay. Down to the 30. There's your fib coming off the high. Okay. And then you're just range bound there. You got an 80-20 that's already in play, sub fib opportunity. That one's already moving to the downside. Looks like it got to that 382 already. So yeah, so that's where we're on gold, right? We could see a little bit more retracement and then potentially push to the upside, but we're just in consolidation right now. Just a press sideways. All right. So nothing in the sweet spots there for me. Questions on gold. All right. That was a beautiful 80-20 there. Boom.
Nope.
All right. Cool deal. So good people. Good people. Inner Circle members. Tomorrow we're gonna have a special guest for you guys. So we've been working on a lot of things for you guys. We launched our partnership was 2 weeks ago now. Some of you guys are already taking advantage of that opportunity. So we're going to have a special guest for you guys. We're super excited to bring them onto the platform. Some of the leadership in the organization that we partnered with. So get a chance to chat with them, hear their thoughts, and also give you guys an opportunity to ask questions, right, of them about the platform, about the opportunity, about the experience. And just to hear their thoughts and hear what they're looking for and get their perspective on what they have built for professional traders. So super excited about it. Same time, 6:30. But leadership from the organization will be on to chat with us and with you guys, and we'll open the floor for you guys to ask questions that you may have regarding the platform and the opportunity. All right, so don't miss tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow. Super excited. Ben, you got any thoughts on that?
No, sir. It's simple. If you can make it, please don't miss. Let's show up and show out as Inner Circle members. We worked hard, to find out, the best time because they're in a totally different part of the world, so we worked hard to pull it all together for you guys. So, by all means, definitely show up.
Absolutely. All right. So, if no other questions, tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for this session, we'll get a chance to chat with our special guest. You guys have a phenomenal Tuesday, and we'll see you in the morning. Peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.